Assalamualaikum, welcome back to our channel. My name is Emin Shafiq and today I will be discussing MAF's airflow sensor, which is the most important type of EFI engine sensor which measures the mass of air entering the engine by converting the inhaled airflow into an electrical signal and then sends that signal to ECU for balancing and delivering the correct amount of fuel for injection. Next we have types. We have two types of MAF sensors. First one is lane meter. We will discuss the working of lane meter here. We have a flap here that is connected with a potentiometer. When the air gets in, the flap moves and that generates a voltage at the output terminal of the potentiometer, which is proportional to the angle of the flap movement. We are not using this vane meter nowadays because it has some moving parts which is not reliable. We are using hot wire and hot film type of MAF sensors. Hot film type of MAF sensor is most advanced type of MAF sensors which are used in engines such as V8. Today we will discuss hot wire type of MAF sensor. Moving forward toward the appearance. So this is our 5-pin MAF sensor of our typical Toyota Corolla, and it has an air temperature sensor inside it and it's located just above the filter housing. Then we will move toward the operating voltage. The variable voltage range of this MAF sensor is between 1 to 5 volts. That means it operates in between this range of voltage. But if you have to check that your sensor is working fine, just turn off your ignition, and if the voltage comes in between this range, that means your sensor is working just fine. Next, location. This sensor is located right after the filter housing and just before the intake air manifold. Now I will talk about the working of MAF sensor in detail. It works on the basic principle of Ohm's law, and this is what happens inside. This is our main body, 5-pin connector, a dirt filter, intake air temperature sensor, and a hot wire filament. It is usually made up of tungsten or platinum because they have high temperature coefficient of resistance. That means at the slightly increase in its temperature, their resistance changes. Now what happens is when the air flows through this dirt filter, it gets filtered out, that it moves toward the air temperature sensor. It measures the temperature of the air and sends a constant current to the hot wire. Now, when you are supplying the constant current to the hot wire, it gets heat up, and the temperature of this hot wire is slightly higher than the temperature of the air flowing through the wire. So when the cooler air is flowing, it gets cooled down, and when this wire gets cooled down, its resistance decreases and its current increases because they have inverse relation while the voltage is constant. Now we will talk about the wiring configuration of this MAF sensor. This is our ECU, our MAF sensor. We have 5 pins here. So first one is intake air temperature signal wire. Second one is intake air temperature reference volt that we are having from ECU, which is 5 volts. Then we have MAF signal wire, our ground, and MAF power wire from fuse box.